So, this is me, and I cannot speak. Oh no, I can't speak, and this is me. And I really suck at speaking. My voice is very weak. I'm usually out of breath, and I don't have the correct words to say usually. And I'm just a really bad speaker, especially when I'm by myself. But I need to be able to speak when I'm by myself because I want to make videos that require that. So I thought that I would practice speaking, and I know that not being able to speak is kind of this word. But I thought that it would be better to be a 20 plus year old that can speak rather than a 30 plus year old that can't speak, because if I don't practice, I'm going to turn from this to this, which is worse, right? So I'm going to be practicing speaking as I draw, and at first I was going to practice as I do my dailies, which I draw boxes, and then first I do this actually, but I draw people, I draw boxes, and then I draw people in boxes. So these are my drawing daily exercises. And I was going to do these videos as I draw them. But the time that I do my dailies is right after I wake up, which is not a suitable time for recording or me speaking to myself. So I had a different idea. Basically, I was going to, do these little paintings and speak over them. But I was faced with a different problem, which is this. I don't have storage space, and trying to record these just takes up so much storage space, and it also makes my iPad lag since it is too old, and so I had to give up on these. I was actually going to give up on doing them at all, like painting. I was going to give up on painting at all because they take up too much storage space. But I lowered the settings for the time lapse, which makes it better. So after that, I had a different idea. I've been meaning to practice sketching from imagination, and this is a prompt list that I've been sitting on for years now, and I'm basically going to put this into action. But I've been attempting to do this little video thing for more than 2 weeks now, and my voice is too ugly. So I've been trying to do this little practice videos for longer than 2 weeks now, as you can see here. I had to upload and delete them because I don't have storage space. And these videos are recorded with these little earpods, which actually have pretty nice mics for their price. But the problem with them is that I don't know if it's because of my voice, but they need a lot of pause processing to be audible, which I can't do because I can't be bothered to do that every day, because it takes like hours for everything to render and stuff. So I can't be bothered to do that. And at first I had the earpods like this, just you would normally. But the mic is here and it kind of picks up on the rebel sound from my shirt. So I did engineering, and I clipped the earpods to my hoodie. So now it is at my nose. Kind of weird like this. This is actually how I'm recording right now. Surprisingly, it doesn't really block my vision, but this is the weird situation that I'm recording in. And since it is not audible, and I also suck at talking, and this is kind of a boring content, the expectation is that no one is going to listen to these. But I'm going to still be talking as if someone is listening to me, because I couldn't even attempt to talk with the expectation that no one is listening. My brain just could not comprehend how to do that. So I will still talk as if someone is listening. There's going to be imaginary people that are listening to me. So the goal is to roll these actions and then try drawing them from imagination. And my pencil is malfunctioning. But the goal is this. And as I said, I've been trying this for 2 weeks now. So these are my very ugly sketches from these 2 weeks. And I'm out of breath, but whatever. So yeah, and I wanted to get angry. So basically, I was using this little spinning wheel website, and it looks nice, it's pretty cool, but they made a change. They had an update, which was this share button, this little dumb thing. They added this, and there are 3 things in this world that I hate. It is UI changes that are useless, and then ugly UI changes. So this little change managed to this little update managed to just hit the 3 things I hate, which is kind of crazy. It's a big accomplishment. And now I'm using this little wheel, which is ugly. It is ugly, but it wasn't from an update. It was ugly from the start. So I don't really care about this being ugly. I only hate it when it's an update. So I roll actions from the list we had, and then I try to draw them from imagination. But the problem with doing that is that trying to draw from imagination requires a step at the start, which is just staring at a wall and daydreaming about stuff, the thing that you're drawing about. So it's a very non-verbal process, like this. It's a very non-verbal process, and like even if I try to force myself to talk through it, I just can't. So basically what is going to happen is that I'm going to come up with stick figures of the action, and then I'm going to come here and actually draw it so that I can talk over it. And I have a prediction that the angles I choose are going to be pretty limited and boring. So maybe what I thought was, maybe I draw whatever angle comes to my mind at first, and after that I randomly pick these boxes and then rotate the paws, just like how I do it in my daily practices. And for today, I already have the stick man, and the action was throwing, which is just the worst word to appear in my first practice, because it is really hard to pronounce. But so I came up with these, and this one is a school. This one is a student coming from school, and they're tired, and they throw the backpack to the ground, and then maybe they go to sleep on their little bed, right? So this was the first one, and after that, I think this one's the second one. This is just someone throwing a paper plane, and after that, I had this guy. This is a businessman in a suit, and they're kind of angry at something as usual for a businessman. So they throw the papers. This was the idea, but I want to draw this one. So, and I don't. This requires a lot of action, so which is very bad for me because I draw very static stuff, and even that I'm bad at. So don't have any expectations. I'm going to suck at this, but I want to draw this. Even though I know it's going to suck, I really want to draw this one. And I'm out of breath already. No, I've been out of breath all this time, but I need to change my eraser. So so we're going to draw this pose, and how we're going to draw is the angle we're drawing it is going to be kind of like this. This is what I thought of, but my pencil is malfunctioning, and this is kind of boring. This is really boring actually. Let me copy paste it, and we can go to a different layer. And as you can see, this is why I suck at stuff. Like how am I supposed to talk as I draw? I just want to shut up and draw. And the problem with this is that the arm is like everything is stiff, but the arm is even more stiff, which is not a good thing. So we need to change it, but I can't think of. I think it can't be all that straight. So maybe it's something like this, but it is still very stiff. So I don't know if I should draw over it or just try to draw it on the side. Maybe I should try to draw it on the side. Let's get this smaller, and maybe I need to kind of like make this angle. Let's see. So maybe it's something like this. Oh no, the box is on my way. You know, this sucks. I just don't like doing this. You know, the thing about imagination is that you need an imagination. And for imagination, you need to live, which is not something I do. So my imagination is the most bleak thing you'll ever see. So I don't really have much to draw. I'm in a pretty pathetic state. But I can't even think of this pose. Like, I'm trying to come up with stuff, and I just can't. I'm in this non-verbal state right now, cause I guess I didn't really come up with a pose. I mean, this is boring. So let's try to maybe we can try drawing the stickman from this angle too. No, we can't. This is so stupid. This is just the stupidest thing I've ever done. So maybe what what we do is just go back to boxes. I for these I want to first come up with the drawing and then fix it with boxes, but I guess I can't. So let's just try to use the boxes. And my mouth is just so dry right now. Maybe the torso is kind of tilted because there's this motion. And since the torso is tilted, I guess no, cause I can't. Yeah, kind of like this. This fits much more. And then we don't need boxes for the arms. I mean, maybe the pelvis is more tilted, but the legs need to be facing like this, straight on. And no, this doesn't make sense, cause I don't know. See, the pelvis is kind of nice when it's tilted, but I can't. It fucks up the other leg. So it's kind of weird. I'm in a weird situation. Then there's going to be very minimal editing on these, since I can't be bothered to render. All I can do is cut stuff out from the inbuilt YouTube editor. But the problem with YouTube inbuilt editor is that it's the stupidest thing. Why does TikTok, why does Instagram have better editing, inbuilt editing than YouTube? If you think about it, YouTube needs it more than any of those. I don't need high level editing on my TikTok. I don't need high level editing on my reel, but I need it on my YouTube video. It's so stupid. The YouTube management team, or whatever, who's the one making decisions for YouTube, it's the stupidest person alive. Maybe I should cut it out. I don't know if I should be that bold on my first talking thing. And as you can see, this is just so stiff and boring. And maybe let's get this pelvis right, because maybe it's the other way around. Oh, maybe maybe I shouldn't. Yeah. I don't know if hands are supposed to be like the opposite, I guess it is, because I thought about it and kind of had that vision of them going opposite ways. So maybe this is more correct. I guess this one is kind of nice. Actually, now that I look at it, I like this. But maybe we need to. What happened? Okay. I think I like this. Honestly, I don't know what a hand does, but I guess I can always just, use my own hand. And I like this pose as much as the angle is boring. I like this one, so I'm just going to get the pose, and maybe I should do that so that's. No, I don't like this. I need to be taller, the person, and I need to make the head smaller. And maybe I can make these like kind of longer. But then I don't like that. I'll just keep it as is. And I need a different layer. And oh wait, how are we drawing this person? Oh, I forgot to talk about the characters. So basically right now I'm using Miku as kind of a, I forgot the word. That's so stupid. I had this word in my mind for the past 2 weeks, and I just forgot what it was right now. I'm kind of using Miku. Oh, I remember. It's a vessel. I'm using Miku as a vessel for this empty vessel, since I don't need to worry about her character much, right? So I can fit her into different situations. Even if it's out of character, it can't be exactly out of character. So that is what we're doing. So maybe I don't know if I'll draw Miku right now, but maybe I'm going to do it on a different day. But I'm going to be using Miku for a while, and after that, if I get really good at it, maybe I can watch stuff and then take a character from that thing I'm watching and try to play into their characteristics as I come up with these actions. Because you could be throwing stuff in so many ways. Even a paper plane, you could be throwing it in so many different ways. So I think thinking about the character can be good exercise, though a little bit too challenging for me at the moment. But it could be a really good exercise. So that is the plan, and I really have no idea what the hand does. I guess it is mostly out of vision. And just you can see that I just don't know what I'm doing. This is so funny to me because it is obvious that I've never done this before. What I think is that we are too close to the ground. I want it to be an overhead shot. I was thinking to make it like that, but I forgot, I guess. Or maybe I was too not enough. I wasn't good enough for it. So my mind just defaulted to this one. Well, let's see. I'm going to draw this leg even though it's not visible, because it might help me. So it needs to be like just very much what is this? Bent. I guess that's the word. The problem is I don't know what to do with this leg. Or maybe I need to draw the side plane, the side view too. Okay, that could help me. So let's get this here and we can kind of do this. But I'm just noticing mistakes as I do this. And the pose we're drawing is, and I think I have to cut this video soon, but this little practice session soon, but I'm going to draw the side view before I do that. So basically, I guess it's kind of like this, but it needs to be behind the torso. No, see, my iPad is dead, so that's why. I mean, sometimes I undo and it just takes me 500 steps back. But let's see. And I need to be kind of like going backwards. But I guess this is a bad. This is a really bad. I guess it won't be this high because it's not supposed to be someone like trying to force themselves as they stand to rather someone while running. So maybe it's something like this. Although maybe if they're running, their I don't know, their feet need to be touching different parts, I guess. Maybe not. Maybe the front one is touching and then um you know, this is just makes it clear that I don't look at stuff. And this is the hand, a weird hand. Don't worry about it. And then it needs to be done. And I guess this is what I'm drawing, but this is going to be so stupid. Because I just don't live life, so anything I draw is just going to be the most uninspired shit you'll ever see in your whole life. But I'm realizing that these are very straight. So maybe they're just like this. But I have a feeling that it is too forward. So let's get this back a little bit maybe. Maybe I need the head a little bit back. No. I don't like this. I really don't. But maybe it needs to be maybe there's so many. You know what I don't understand is will the pelvis be straight or like loop-sided? Cause I guess it needs to be loop-sided cause the legs are moving. So let's just try to move to that situation from the start. So we have the pelvis, and let me get the pelvis to an empty space. So we have the pelvis, and then so we have it like this. And what's going to happen is that it's going to turn like this. No, I can't figure out if it's down here and up here or the other way, like this. I guess it needs to be down here. So let's try that. And it's kind of similar to the box we have already drawn, but whatever. Also, I think I quite got it, but this is what I'm going to leave today's practice at, because if I go any longer, my iPad is going to be like, you have run out of storage. We could not save your recording. And by the way, these aren't even all the times I try to practice, because sometimes I forgot to turn on the mic and only realized it after I've spoken for an hour long. And sometimes the video didn't even save, so this isn't even all the times I tried to record. And I think what happened to this one is that this one is kind of too turned, so I can fix that tomorrow. Maybe I should write it so that I remember to fix it, and tomorrow I can draw it properly, and maybe even turn it to other angles that I randomly picked to